Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris here, and welcome back to another market overview and general recap of the day and how we took our trades. So today we're going to be going over Monday, July 24th, the trades that we took today, and just our general fills. And we only took one trade we took 5 trades total, but we only alerted one trade in the channel, and then the other 4 trades I took on my own. And of course, you guys got to see those in voice chat. But 5 for 5 in the day, no losing trades. Let's just hop right into it. The first thing I do want to note, though, is that our bias, and of course I don't really have this written down anywhere, but I said it in voice, our bias was that we were going to have a range day. We're looking for a range day, and the reason we're looking for a range day is because we have earnings for Microsoft and Google this week. We have Meta on Thursday, and we have FOMC on Wednesday. We also had PMI this morning at 9:45 Eastern. So there's a ton of news and market events are going to impact the market today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. So we're expecting to see range. That's our bias heading into the day. Now, for the first trade that we took, we entered a short, and our first entry for our short was right here at 10:16. And of course, I alerted this one. So if we were to look at the specific alert right here, I was actually, it looks like it was 10:18 when I alerted it, but it was a little further down on the price. So it was at 62, and then we ended up averaging here at 10:22 Eastern at the level of 78. So we're looking at the chart right here. Our entry is here at 62. And then we also have this entry further up here at 10:22. And the reason for this trade is because we have this massive fair value gap. So this massive fair value gap, and I only have a few drawings and sort of annotations on my chart left from the day. I just left them on. But my early morning ones, since they're not really important in the late day, I just deleted them. So just drawing them back out here, and we enter this trade based off this FEG. Now, people will ask me, how do you know which FEG to draw? How do you know which FEG not to draw? The reason that I'm looking for this FEG is because there's just a huge imbalance. There's a 43-point candle to the downside. This is when we saw the news getting released. And we're also looking for a 50% retracement here. So I entered a tad early, of course, right here. And then we also entered on our full position right there. And we can see that we actually filled the entirety of this FEG, basically almost to the tick, a point off. So that's the top of the FEG we reject. And then we also have all our scales in through here. And our ultimate exit was there because we got stop loss hit on the rest of our positions. We'd already scaled a majority, and I'm pretty sure we were 3/4 out, and then we got stopped here. Of course, it goes to our ultimate TP, which I'll explain in a second. But the trade is basically, we are filling this imbalance, which is between this candle at 9:45 and this candle at 9:47. We have a large range where orders are not filled yet to downside, and we fill that range, which is the FEG. And we're also retesting the AM buy side. So I saw we tested AM sell side and PM sell side for NQ. We broke through those levels, and so we're just looking for a short opportunity. Exactly what we did. Our last scale, I think, was right here at about 42 or 41. So it was about a 30-point trade. Very, very nice trade. And again, stop loss hit there, and we did not grab those highs. So very unfortunate that it went to our full TP down here, but that's all good. And just to explain the full TP, we're looking for this, so 10:11 AM on New York, we're looking for this FEG to get hit. And it's an important FEG. Again, we don't just draw out random FEGs whenever we see them. This is an important FEG because we're breaking from this structure where it was downside structure, and we're breaking out from there. And we also have this smaller FEG, actually same size, but this higher FEG right here, which we bounced off of like so. And the last thing I want to note is while we were in the trade, we were looking at this little order block right here, and this is an area that we were consolidating around, as you can see. So this order block right here at 10:15. We bounce, bounce, bounce. We go to the 50% mark. We go to the top. We go to the bottom. We go below. So all in all, very good trade. 60% if you want to translate that to percentages. But that was that trade. And now after that, I'm only alerting in VC, which is, I guess, sort of unfortunate. But here's the next trade that we took. Next trade we took right here was at 11:35. And the reason I entered this is because I believe that we were grabbing liquidity below this low here, and we were looking to hit this FEG. So I guess I kind of made up for the profit that we missed out on to the downside here by entering again on a long. And I'm pretty sure my fill was, let's see here, 44. So my fill here was at 44. And then we took this candle, we had 1, 2 candles, and then boom, TP was right there. So just a quick 24-point trade on NQ. That's all it was for that one. So let's go on to our next one here. I'm just looking at my fills in the other screen, if you're wondering why I'm kind of hesitating. So the next trade that we took was right here at 150 Eastern. So the reason for this trade, and I remember it off the top of my head, of course, is we're looking for upside liquidity, buy side liquidity to be specific, to be met, because we were looking for this low over here to be hit, and possibly this low over here to be hit. Now, again, we're looking for a range day as a whole, so we don't have too much of a downside bias, but I did think that we would be grabbing above this liquidity zone up here, stop hunting, and not going all the way up here to high day, because if we did break high day, then it would be quite bullish and we might actually see a run in the late day. But we don't go to high day, we just go to this intermediate buy side liquidity there. So our entry is right here at 150, and our fill was, let's see, 78 to be exact. So 78 on the mark. We go to a little bit of a loss there of about 5 points. We go higher, and of course during this candle is where a lot of people are going to stress. I walked everyone through this one on how we're supposed to hold this, because we basically have this uptrending consolidation. Mark it out here, and this is another reason I got into the trade. So we have a big run away from sort of this chop over here, and then we have uptrending consolidation. So what that means is it's just a structure that if you can spot it, it's very nice and it adds to your trading, can help with entries. So you're seeing upside and very, very sharp upside, and we're consolidating to upside like so. Consolidation usually means, flat, but I kind of use this term consolidating to upside, consolidating to downside, because we're still pushing in that direction. We're just trending, but it really is consolidating because the range between this little low over here and this high is really not that large. So we're consolidating to upside, and our entry is just in this consolidation, very near this high here, which we of course break above, and it retests down to again. And we do not exit on this candle. We have our stop down here, and we just ride it right back up. Our exit is at 94. This level I was talking about in voice chat, and it was really as simple as that. We grab liquidity above this high over here. So if you look at the 1 minute, the high here is at 93.75, and then this high over here is at 93.5, and the candle right after is at 93.25. So we basically have 0.75, 0.5, and 0.25. If that doesn't seem like a level that would hit before we see any more possible downside, so if your bias is bearish in the late day, why do we not break above this level? We're right here at 150. Why the hell would we not break above this, right? It would make absolutely no sense for us to not break there, grab this insane buy side liquidity where everyone's stops are for the downside, and then run the sell side liquidity, which again, we come back down to our AM sell side. So we'll go over to the next trade, which we actually take a short on in a second. But this is very important. You have to realize when the market is going to be reaching for those liquidity zones and those buy sides, those sell sides, all of that, because it's going to be determining the move to the next direction, right? So we're looking for buy side to be met so that sell side can be met. And of course, we do not reach this ultimate target. I'm guessing here in the after hours, we don't either. Nope. So we're going to go over the short right now and how we actually exited at the perfect bottom before our little run during power hour here. So the last trade that we took, we entered on these two candles here. So let's see what time this exactly was. So it was right here at 3:08 Eastern, and we also entered a few more shorts at 3:11 Eastern. Now I had mentioned that we had a sell stop. So I was in with a sell stop here. So as soon as it crossed 52, and I remember it was exactly 52 on the dot, that is when we're looking to enter our shorts. And the reason is it's just a small little low here. I'm expecting us to break below here and just go straight for this low and then this low over here and all these sort of smaller lows in this area. We do retest this order block, but we do not see any more upside after 3:02. And let's just go over to the 5-minute chart real quick. This is hugely important. So we have a fair value gap that kind of breaks away from this chop after we hit the buy side. So after we hit the buy side, we're seeing sort of this small downtrend here. Let's go right back over to the 1 minute real quick. And then we see this pop at 226. In this pop, we don't really have an entry on. We're not looking for an entry at this specific level. We're looking for a break of market structure. And so the break of market structure happens here. It happens over here as well. But the main one is right there because we saw this big ass red earlier, and then it goes right to the liquidity. So we're looking for a break below this level. So if we were to mark this out, that level is 74.5 on NQ. And we're looking for the break below here and then seeing if an FEG can form and enter on this FEG. Now, as you can see, our entry was quite late. I was just playing it very safe. We go back over to the 5-minute. I'm just trying to go slowly so this all makes sense because it's hugely important. I know there's a lot of lines, but focus on this white line right here. This white line is a low before we break the market structure. We can also use this low over here because it kind of lines up with this candle as well. So 74.5 on this high, you have 73.5, and then again 74.5. We break below the structure which was previously bullish, and we form this FEG, this fair value gap, which is between this high and this candle's low. And so this 5-minute FEG is what we're looking for retest to, and then a further rejection into this liquidity level over here, as well as all of these lows, which you can see a lot of wicks to, before we have this run up prior to power hour in the afternoon session here. So that's very important. Now we go to the lower time frame, and our scales were perfect in my opinion as well. I think we got perfect scales. So again, our entry was at 308 and then 311. We held due to us rejecting this order block. Walked you guys all through that in VC on how we held that trade, and we reject, and our scale here is at 325 as soon as we break this intermediate low, just to be safe, because you know, what if it just randomly reverses and it doesn't have enough strength to go all the way down to that liquidity zone? Then we have a nice scale. We locked in some profits, and then our next scale, and actually we exited in full right here at 26. Told everyone exited in full. I do not want to hold it down to 18. Sure, it's another 8 points. Yeah, 8 points. But it's not something that I really want to risk ahead of power hour, or actually during power hour. And we can see that we have a big reaction to the upside. We chop around and we go higher. So it's a perfect exit right here at this 26, 27 level. Actually 27 to be exact, on the AM sell side. So I think there's one trade actually that I'm missing that I forgot to go over, if I'm being 100% honest with y'all. Oh, it doesn't look like there is another trade. It looks like we took, I'm looking at my fills here and then the executions on the other chart. It looks like we took a long right here, and I'm just kind of playing this one by ear. We took a long right here. I'm not really sure why the hell I took a long there, but we took a long here, and then I guess we, for some reason, exited over here. So I probably due to this FEG. Yeah, what am I saying? Probably due to the FEG, and we're breaking structure, I'm guessing. That's my most logical guess, because I do not remember taking this trade, but apparently we had profit on it, so just wanted to, I guess, recap that one. But again, main focus of the day, I know this video was relatively equal in time to the other ones, but took a lot more trades, 5 for 5 in the day. One of them was alerted, right? The main focus is having that bias, that the bias is chop. We're gonna see chop ahead of all these big market impacting events. We're gonna see chop. We're gonna see range. You can see we chop. This is pure chop here, and then this is range, right? We're ranging from the high of the session to the low of the session ish, or between the high and the low. And we're seeing big reactions off those zones, and we have to understand when to take the trades. We're not going to be perfectly sniping bottoms and tops. You can see our entry for long here was in this area at 150. Our entry for short was in this area at 308. We were nowhere near the high and nowhere near the low over here when we exited, or when we entered those trades, or this one, right? We had a hold through drawdown actually before we had profit. All these trades other than this one were, you know, far away from the perfect entry, but this is confirmed trading. You're taking very high probability trades off of these zones and holding through the little drawdowns when we're rejecting these zones again, like this order block. So hopefully all that makes sense. You guys can message me on Discord, of course, at any time. I'll be in VC tomorrow morning. We're gonna try to pass the is it third or fourth funded, because I almost passed one of them within one day today, so we'll see if we can pass that one tomorrow. But I'll see you guys in VC. Just let me know if you have any questions. Make sure to message me. See you guys. Enjoy your night.